Hello guys, welcome back to another one on Chuck D Football TV. For those of you that have been locked into this channel, welcome back. And for those of you seeing me on your timeline for the first time, welcome to this channel. Before I commence the video, please kindly like the video, comment if you like the subject matter, and please subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications whenever I release new videos, because this is one of the best football channels you will come across. Fact. Just keep it locked in so you find out yourself. With no further ado, what would I be talking about today? So I was having a conversation with myself. Funny thing is, I've actually shot this video already. This is the second time I'm shooting this video. The first one wouldn't upload for some unknown reason. I don't know why. So hopefully the second time is the charm. What would I be talking about today? I'll be talking about 10 players under fraud watch this season. That's what I'll be talking about today. 10 players I personally will be keeping my eyes on under fraud watch this season. At the end of the video, please let me know in the comment section who your 10 players are and what players you're looking at this season, based on like fraud watch, So you let me know in the comment section. So with no further ado, my first player is Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian international, the Arsenal player, the Arsenal left winger. Gabriel Martinelli, you are under fraud watch, my boy. Why is this guy under my fraud watch? He's been under fraud watch for like the last 2 seasons for me and for most Arsenal fans. I personally think that if Arsenal wants to go forward as a club that challenges for major titles, you can't be having a player like Gabriel Martinelli playing your left wing. You can't have, especially in 2025, you cannot have a Gabriel Martinelli playing your left wing. Dude is a horrible winger. Horrible. Is exceptionally horrible as a left winger. The guy's decision in the final 18 is poor. His manipulation of the ball is outrageous. I don't even know what word to use. The thing is, the advantage with playing Martinelli is that he is high intensity. He has high energy. He comes back to defend, which are all good things, to be fair, which are all good things. But going forward, which is the primary craft of what an attacking left winger should be, he's poor at it. And if Arsenal need to cross the line, in my personal and humble opinion, I think at least Arsenal's first 3 attacking forwards need to score at least 18 goals each this season. At least 18 goals each. If they're not winning by points, at least they should be leading the table by goal difference. And with a Gabriel Martinelli, I don't think Arsenal can achieve that. And I always call Martinelli Arteta's love child. I think Gabriel Martinelli is Arteta's love child. I think there's something that Arteta is hiding from us, because if that boy is not your love child, I don't know why that boy should be starting for Arsenal in 2025. But that is my first player under massive fraud watch. That is my number 1. Now, my number 2 is Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard, come forward to the congregation, my boy. You are under fraud watch. Martin Odegaard is under fraud watch this season. Now, with Martin Odegaard, first of all, he's an incredible player. Dude is an incredible midfielder. Your perfect prototype of a number 10. His ball manipulation is one of the best in Europe, one of the best in the world. The way he manipulates the ball, the way he's like a ballerina when he's with that ball. The way he dribbles, the way he controls, incredible. He can single-handedly control the tone of a game when he's on it. So I'll give him a bit of leeway, However, piggybacking off last season, he had a horrible season last year. A couple of, I think he was even playing under injury and things like that. So I'll give him a bit of leeway. But coming this season, Odegaard, you need to step up, boy. You need to step up. You need to step up with goals. You need to step up with assists. All that extra touches you be doing and just doing the most, that is not going to fly this season. And now with the introduction of Eberechi Eze can play both positions. He can play that midfield, that same position that Martin Odegaard plays, and he can play that position that what's his name, Gabriel Martinelli plays. And even in that Odegaard's position, there's still Ethan Nwankwo, Max Dowman can also play there. Although I don't think Arteta will play those guys there. Martin Odegaard is Arteta's first choice in that position. For me, if I could make the choice for somebody to be benched, it would definitely be Gabriel Martinelli. I would prefer Eze playing that Martinelli's position. But Odegaard has to step up this season. Now, some people have made the argument that the captaincy should be stripped from him and given to Declan Rice. I don't know. It really doesn't matter to me. I think Declan Rice will be an incredible captain, but so is Odegaard. When it comes to, because leadership is not only on the pitch, it's also outside the pitch. And I think Martin Odegaard is a competent leader, because he's the captain of the Arsenal team. He's the captain of the Norwegian national team as well. So that's conversation on whether the captaincy should be stripped from him or not. I'm not really on that bandwagon. I don't really subscribe to that. I think he should maintain the captaincy for now, but he should be benched if he's not performing. He should be benched. There shouldn't be any special treatment per se in the team if you want to go forward. If a player is not performing, let him sit on the bench. That is where I stand. My third player on fraud watch is Gyökeres. Now, I know for you guys watching, it seems why is it just Arsenal players? Why is it just Arsenal players? Relax. I support two clubs. I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm a Real Madrid fan. I support both clubs. So just be patient. We are just on the third one. It's not just Arsenal players. So Gyökeres is my number 3 on the fraud watch list. Now I'll tell you why. Not because Gyökeres isn't an incredible striker. Gyökeres, in my opinion, is one of the best strikers in the world currently. Top 3. The reason why people try to make it seem like he's not is because I think for people that are not Arsenal fans, Arsenal is like a witch hunt, right? They can't wait for things to fail at Arsenal so that they make jokes online. But if we are going to go by stats and performances, Gyökeres is top 3 best strikers in the world. Prior to him coming to Arsenal, he was the best striker in the world. If you look at the stats. Now, you hear people say things like, yeah, but he was playing in the Portuguese league. The Portuguese league isn't a top league. It's not the Premier League. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever you say. If you are willing to die on that hill, I'm willing to buy your casket. If you are willing to die on that hill, I'm willing to purchase your casket for you. If you look at his stats, he was the best. Point blank period. Incredible stats. Nobody was, come on, man. If you say He was only doing it in the Portuguese league. Go and look at the stats in the Champions League last season. Look at the stats in the Champions League. He scored a hat-trick versus some big teams. He performed well versus big teams. He scored a hat-trick against City. The guy was killing everything moving. People always come with different excuses, but yes, but he was scoring against bottom half teams. People will always bring something to discredit a player. The fact is, when you look at the stats, he was the best. He was the best. And the reason why and now your question might be, okay, if he was the best, why is he on your list of fraud watch? The main reason why is because Arsenal is a team that creates a lot of chances. And when you look at the past 3 seasons for Arsenal, in the sense whereby Arsenal have come close to winning the league the past 3 seasons. Last season they made it to the Champions League semi-finals. It is clear to see that the priority need for Arsenal is an elite striker, and everybody has said it that one thing Arsenal has to do is get an elite striker that can score goals, and that is the difference from them being second to them winning the league. The Arsenal need a elite striker. So now that Arsenal has gotten an elite striker, there are no more excuses. Gyökeres needs to fire this season. He needs to fire this season. There's no, in quotes, grace period of a season. He might get a grace period of maybe 10 games. Even 10 games is too much. But in my opinion, let me say 10 games. After that, my boy, you need to be scoring goals. And when you look at his stats this season, in 3 games, he has 2 goals already. In 3 games, he has 2 goals already. He scored 2 goals against Leeds. Obviously, he didn't score against. He scored for Arsenal in the preseason, but we're not going to count the preseason. We're going to count, the league games, right? So Arsenal have played 3 games. They've played against Leeds, Manchester United, Liverpool. 3 games, and in 3 games he has 2 goals. So based on that stats, he's doing well. He's doing well, and hopefully, as the season progresses, when the players come back from the international break, he fires on. So there's no time. He has to fire on immediately. Assuming Gyökeres was signed to a team like Newcastle or a team like Aston Villa, there will be more grace period, because these teams are teams that are not typically fighting for the league or fighting for the Champions League, right? Their goal is set different. What they're looking for is qualification to the Champions League or the Europa League. Their desire might be to end up from I don't know, 4th to 8th position on the table. That's like a win for teams like this. But while you're playing for an Arsenal, like a Liverpool or Chelsea, you have to fire on, especially Arsenal. So you get my drift. I don't need to explain further. I guess you're not living under a rock. So Gyökeres is my number 3 on my fraud watch list for this season. Now, I have it written in my jotter, by the way. So now my number 4 is Rafinha. Let's move on to Spain. It's Rafinha. Rafinha is my number 4. Now, some people that you guys have been, you guys that watch my content on a regular basis, I'm sure you're rolling your eyes like, of course, he has to bring up Barca. He doesn't like Barca because he's a Madrid fan. Relax, calm your blood down. I'll tell you why Rafinha is on my fraud watch for this season. It's not because of hate or anything. It's because based on his performance last season, he broke a lot of records, right? He scored upwards of if I'm not wrong, maybe 50 something goals in all competitions. Correct me under the comment section if I'm wrong. I think he scored like 50 something goals in all competitions, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, if I'm wrong, correct me under the comment section. He performed really well last season, scored a lot of goals, won the La Liga, won the Copa del Rey, made it to the Champions League semi-finals. What else? He's even going to be in the rankings for the Ballon d'Or, at least top 5 in the next Ballon d'Or event or award ceremony. He's in that conversation. So, and that was based on what he did last season. Now, coming to this season, if he does very low compared to what he did last season, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. If he's scoring 16 goals this season, at the end of the season, 16 goals, 9 assists, or like 17 goals, 11 assists, but you're a fraud. You are a fraud. If you're not doing anything less than 22 goals, 12 assists, or whatever, you are a fraud. You are a fraud. That is why Rafinha is on my fraud watch. And that is it. I leave that one there. So that is how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4. Now to my 5th, Marcus Rashford, another Barcelona player. Marcus Rashford is my 5th in my fraud watch list. Marcus Rashford. And why is Marcus Rashford in my list for fraud watch of the season? The reason is because Marcus Rashford is about what, 27, 28 right now. So there's no excuse of that, oh, young player, whatever. There's no excuse. That is dead. The excuse of, oh, he plays for Manchester United, it's a toxic environment, the coach doesn't like him, or the players don't create enough chances, the fans are toxic, and all those type of things. The media in England are constantly bashing him, whatever. That's not an excuse anymore. That excuse is dead. He has now gone to a Barcelona team that he wanted to go to. It's different when the motivation is different when a player desires a team and the team desires the player too, and they make a move to get that player. There's just extra ginger, extra motivation. And when you look at Barcelona, they are an extremely attacking side. They create a lot of chances. They dominate possession in a lot of their games. He's playing in a forward with Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, maybe sometimes Robert Lewandowski. He's playing under a system that fits him, or he is supposed to fit him, under an elite coach. So there's really no excuse. There would only be an excuse if he's not being played regularly, if he's just if he's constantly on the bench, then maybe there can be a bit of excuse. But if he's seeing game time on a regular basis, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. The system that Hansi Flick plays fits Rashford. It fits him to the T. So there's no excuse. And Barcelona, by the way, Rashford is on a loan to Barcelona, on a 1-year loan with an option to buy. So if after this 1 year, Barcelona say that, nah, bro, yeah, you've been underwhelming, back to Carrington, then boy, oh boy. Rashford is a fraud. I would have to, he would have, that fraud title would have to be solidified. And I leave it there. and I leave it there. So that's my 5th player on my fraud watch list. If you have gotten to this very point, halfway through the list, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications anytime I release videos. Please like the video. It helps to push my video out to other people. It helps to build this community I'm trying to build here. Liking, by the way, for you guys that don't like videos, liking videos is free. It's free to like a video. Just click that thumbs up button. It helps push the algorithm and push the video out there. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below to let me know who are on the list on your fraud watch, or if you think I should have removed a certain player and put another player instead. Do you understand? So that's my 5th. Now my 6th, the 6th player on my fraud watch list is Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko, the Manchester United striker. Why is Benjamin Sesko under my fraud watch? I'll tell you why. He is that player that, he's young, he's about 22, 21, 22, around that age. His name has been ringing bells since he was in Leipzig, right? His name has been ringing bells. And Benjamin Sesko, first of all, was actually Arteta's first choice, but they went for what's his name, for Gyökeres instead, and now Benjamin Sesko is in Manchester United. The reason why he's under fraud watch is because of how Manchester United have been performing. Take it or leave it. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I don't really care for them, but the thing is, Manchester is a big club. They are a massive club. It doesn't matter how they're performing now. They might not currently, in this climate, Manchester United is not a massive club, obviously based on performance over the maybe past 5 years or whatever. But based on history, they are a massive club, not just in England, but in the world. And Manchester United is a club that has a lot of media eyes on them. Any player playing for Manchester United is under a microscope. And you have to perform. And Manchester United have had a striker crisis for a very long time. Let's even piggyback off last season. They bought Højlund. They bought Højlund for big money. They bought him. Dude flopped. Flopped to the 100th degree. They bought Xerxes. Dude flopped as well. Now they've gone for another young striker, and obviously it's early in the season, so you cannot judge off just 3 games, but people are afraid that this is looking like a Højlund 2.0. Granted, he hasn't started a lot of games. But the thing with Manchester United is, if you have been purchased with plenty money, you really don't have a lot of grace time in a club like Manchester United, because they are badly in need of a striker that can that can score goals. This is a club that have had world-class strikers like Van Nistelrooy, Wayne Rooney, Dwight York, Andy Cole, even like Solskjaer, Teddy Sheringham. This is a club that have had Berbatov, Chicharito, guys like that. So, and their fans are hungry. So Sesko, your time is, my boy, your time is, it's ticking. It's ticking. You're not playing for a Brighton or a Southampton or a Wolves or a Fulham, where you probably can go 10 games without scoring, and you might still get opportunities. Playing for Manchester United, man. You're playing for Manchester United. If you don't, after the international break, if you don't score in your next 2-3 games, bro, There'll be a big witch hunt on your head. Just being honest. That's my sixth. That's the sixth player in my fraud list. My seventh player is Phil Okechukwu Foden. Phil Okechukwu Foden. Come to the front of the congregation. I have a word for you. What is going on, Phil Foden? Phil Foden is under big fraud watch this season. This guy is Phil Foden is an incredible player, incredible midfielder. That boy is different, maverick. I have to be honest. I was looking at this guy like the second coming of David Silva. That was what he was supposed to be. And it was looking like that for a long period of time. It was looking like, yeah, this is David Silva 2.0. Incredible player. He even won, was it last season? If I'm not mistaken, he even won PFA Player of the no, it wasn't last season. It was 2 seasons ago. He won the PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League. Do you know what it is to win the PFA Player of the Year? That means you have been voted as the best player in the Premier League by your peers and by coaches. If you win the PFA Player of the Year, you are world class. If you can win the PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League, you are automatically world class. I don't care what anybody says. You are world class, which Phil Foden was. He was world class. This guy I think Phil Foden is like 24, if I'm not mistaken. Go and look at his trophy cabinet. He's won a treble. He has won four Premier Leagues back to back. I can't even count maybe how many FA Cups and other like domestic league cups he's won. He's achieved in his young years what some elite players wouldn't achieve in their whole career. There was a point 2 seasons ago, this guy was carrying City on his back. You have to give it up to him. But then, when it came to the Euros, he was horrible. Horrible. Started every game and was horrible. Horrible in midfield. There was a point that they even switched him to right wing. No, to left wing. Horrible. And then this guy has just disappeared. I don't even know if he starts for City. Because City have bought, Rodri is back. They have Mamouche. They have, who else do they have? They have Rodri, Mamouche, Czeki. They have Czeki. They have Tijani Reinders. So where does Phil Foden fit in this midfield? I don't know if he started any game this season. I don't even know if he's a City starter right now. So Phil Foden is under fraud watch, and the way it's looking is like this guy is not going to be called up for. He's not going to make that English 25-man squad for the World Cup. He's not going to make that World Cup list. With the way that would be crazy. That would be crazy for Phil Foden not to make that list. He wasn't even called up for the friendly against Armenia. I think that was it's Estonia. He wasn't even called up. Crazy. So Phil Foden, bro, you're under my fraud watch list, man, for this season. You're under big fraud watch this season. So that is the seventh player in my fraud watch list. The 8th player for me, my number 8 is Rodri. Rodri, please come to the podium. Let me speak to you for a minute. Manchester City's Rodri, Spanish international's Rodri, is under my fraud watch list for this season. Now I know people are like, well, he's been injured for the longest, blah blah blah. Can he be under your fraud watch? He's just coming back from injury. Fair enough. I'll tell you why. First of all, some people said that the reason why he's been injured is because he went to take an award that was not meant for him. He went to take the Ballon d'Or that was meant for Vini. He went to take it. That is why he has been cursed with injury. I didn't say it. It was people online that said it. So don't say that. Hey, here we go. I didn't say it. It was people that said it. Don't look at me. But from somebody that just won the last Ballon d'Or, that means you are the best player in the entire world. Yes, you've been injured. Injury is not a player's fault. Injuries can happen. It's not, no player wants to be injured, right? Injury is not a player's fault. However, now that he's back from injury, Rodri has to perform. He has to perform because you are the current Ballon d'Or holder. You are the current best player in the world. So you have to show it. You have to perform. There's no, oh, you play a few games, then you go back to injury. Oh. There's none of that. We don't want to hear that. You have to perform. Maybe not to the standard that you did, maybe depending on his injury. I think he had an ACL injury, if I'm mistaken. If I'm wrong, please correct me under the comment section. But he had like a big injury. Now, you might, I'm not expecting him to perform like 100% as the Rodri that we know, but if you're not performing 100%, at least you have to perform 85% this season. You're the current Ballon d'Or holder. Big expectations, my guy. Big expectations. So Rodri is under my fraud watch. He's under my fraud watch this season. Now, for the last two players, my number 9 player under big fraud watch is Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior. You see? So for you guys that were shouting, he was putting Barcelona players as a hater. The here goes a Madrid player, a Real Madrid player. Vinicius, you are under fraud watch. You are under fraud watch, bro. You're under fraud watch. The thing is, everybody knows Vinicius is world class. Anybody that is denying it is living under a massive rock. You're not even living under a rock. You're living under a mountain Kilimanjaro. You are living under a mountain. A rock is too small. When Vini is on it, he's world class. One of the best in the world for going on this maybe past 5 years. Arguably the best left winger in the world. I always mistake right wing for left wing for right wing. He's arguably the best left winger in the world. Just is what it is. The guy is phenomenal. Go and look at Vinicius. Just look at his stats. Vinicius is still a young player, but go look at personal trophies, team trophies. He's won how many Champions Leagues already? He's won like 2 Champions Leagues, 3 Champions Leagues already. Multiple personal awards. Like, let's not even, he has the stats and everything to back it up. But Vini has been disappointing. He's been disappointing. The last season he was, and even last season, go and look at the stats. He still had better stats than a lot of players that were bigging up. All these Ekitikes and all these guys, they did not even score assists as much as Vini last season. But obviously, because of the precedent that Vini has set, and obviously the team he plays for, the players he plays with, the microscope will be more on Vini. I get that. But Vini was underwhelming last season. Underwhelming. Certain games I'll watch of Vini, I'm like, what is this guy doing, man? What nonsense is this guy doing? And I like the fact that Xabi Alonso has benched him a few times this season. Has lit that I think because of that, it's lit a fire up his ass. It's that bench, that him being on the bench has lit a fire up his ass, and I really appreciate that by Xabi Alonso. If you're not performing, go and sit your ass down on the bench. You know, big ups to one of the greatest coaches of all time, Don Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti was, whether Vini performed or not, he was still going to play 90 minutes. So Vini was probably like a daisical, like, listen, man, this position is mine. Nobody can bench me. And was just doing rubbish last season. Even a few games this season, just doing nonsense. You know, so Vini, you're under fraud watch. You're under my fraud watch this season. Can't be doing that rubbish you're doing last season. Vini is under my fraud watch. And for my number 10, for the how do you say it? The last player under my fraud watch. Drums, please. Florian Wirtz. That is my number 10 on my fraud watch list. Florian Wirtz. You are under my fraud watch this season. You are under my fraud watch this season. Now, the reason why, I'll tell you the reason why he's under my fraud watch. Now, because of the position Florian Wirtz plays, he's not expected to score a lot of goals. However, he needs to score goals. That's not an excuse. He needs to score goals. He needs to, maybe where Liverpool is struggling, he needs to, chip in when it comes to goals. But that is not his primary assignment. So I don't think anybody would judge Florian Wirtz off goal scoring. However, because he's playing with, in quotes, 3 elite goal scorers, maybe 2, right? The other one is decent. He'll be playing behind 2, elite goal scorers in Salah and Alexander Isak, right? He has to assist. I don't want to see at the end of the season 4 goals, 7 assists the whole season. Nah, bro. No. I have to see double digits. I'll take 1 digit, in goals, maybe like 9 goals, 7 goals, 8. I'll take that. But when it comes to that assist, I have to see double digits. I have to see double digits because you are playing with elite scorers, goal scorers. So he has to put up those numbers in assists. And also for the amount that he was bought for. They broke the English transfer record for Florian Wirtz, 150 million. Do I think he's worth it? Do I think he's worth 150? No. But again, I don't dictate the market. The market has gone bonkers. It is what it is. So if they have broken the English transfer fee for you, Florian Wirtz, you need to perform. So Florian Wirtz is the last player under my fraud watch list for the season. So that's it. Thank you for watching the video. If you watched it to the very end, thank you. If you watched it halfway, thank you. If you watched the first 2 minutes, thank you for tuning in all the same. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications, so you are notified when I release other videos, and subscribe to the channel as well. So subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know the players under your own fraud watch list. And until next time, guys, thanks for keeping it locked on this channel. Peace.